Hi Ruth. So I've been thinking, and I've decided that I'm going to propose 3 projects for myself this year. It's basically limited to this year. Number 1, read more. Number 2, write 5 stories this semester. And number 3, have a social life. So, the first 2 kind of contradict the third one, but we shall see how that goes. So let's start with number 1. I've been wanting to read more because I've been watching a lot of booktubers, and basically I just aspire to be like them. Also, I discovered my New Year's resolution document that I made at the beginning of the year, where I said I would read 30 books. I've been keeping track of them, and I am on book number 9 of the 30. So, I've got a ways to go on that front. But hopefully I can work my way up to reading more books. So, let's start with the book that I am currently reading, which is Seabiscuit by Laura Hillenbrand. I've heard lots of good things about this author. I saw the movie. You've seen the movie too. And I loved it. I just love that movie so much. And so when I found this book in a used bookstore for like 50 cents, I decided to buy it, and I've only just now, that was like last summer, and I've only just now gotten around to reading it. Even though it's nonfiction, it reads like fiction, and it's really nice, and I really already like the characters, even though they're real people. But it's also set in a time period that I like, which is the 1920s and 30s. So that's cool. That leads me into project number 2, 5 short stories by the end of the semester. Basically, I've worked that out to 1 story every 3 weeks. And that's pretty self-explanatory. I'm thinking of allotting 1.5 weeks to drafting and 1.5 weeks to revising, because I really need to work on finishing stories and revising them, because I don't have a lot of experience revising my stories, and that's because I hardly ever finish them. So I feel like if I start finishing them, then maybe I can learn to revise them, and maybe I can send them to literary magazines. I don't know. That was kind of the plan, so we'll see, because I'd really like to start getting published. But, of course, those 5 stories could probably not be publishable at all, but it would still be really good practice. So, that's project number 2. We will see how that goes. And then that leads me to project number 3, which is have a social life. So the past few days, I've kind of gotten into the bad habit of just going straight back to my dorm room after class and reading, or surfing the internet, or watching YouTube videos, or studying. And as much as I enjoy doing those things, and I don't mind being alone most of the time, I have come to the realization that that's probably not the best approach if I want to make friends and do fun things and have a social life. So basically, I'm just going to try and make more of an effort to get out there and talk to people and go to events, studying, reading, writing, and socializing. That's like the perfect life. And hopefully making this video will keep me accountable to doing those things. Intermission time! So I just got back from the farmer's market. Today is Saturday, and I want to show you what I got. So I got these amazing chocolate chip cookies, and they look fabulous. They are fabulous. I tried one. Amazing! So I'm so excited about those. And then they were having a book sale, and I got, The Secret History. Yay! If you don't know what this book is about, okay, here, I'll read you the back. Under the influence of their charismatic classics professor, a group of clever, eccentric misfits at an elite New England college discover a way of thinking and living that is a world away from the humdrum existence of their contemporaries. But when they go beyond the boundaries of normal morality, they slip gradually from obsession to corruption and betrayal, and at last, inexorably, to evil. Ooh. So that's that. And it's about a college, and it sounds really good. So I'm going to read it eventually. Okay, back to the original video. Bye! Hi Ruth, it's me again. So I wanted to discuss with you through video a little thing that I realized the other day. I don't always take your book suggestions very seriously. And I noticed this as I was looking at my bookshelf, and I saw that there was The Sharp Time and Peter Pan and all of these books that I loved that I had recommended to you, and you borrowed them and you read them in a timely manner, and I was so grateful that I could share them with you. And then I looked at my bookshelf again, and I realized that the only book that I had read that you had recommended to me was The Art of Racing in the Rain. And I basically did that independently of your recommendation. Because I can remember standing in the bookstore at least 6 months after you had first recommended The Art of Racing in the Rain to me, and I read the first couple pages and I was like, oh, well, this is obviously a book that I really want to read. And I completely forgot about the fact that you had recommended it to me and that I had been skeptical because I thought the dog was going to die. And I was like, I don't want to read a book where the dog dies, because the dog always dies in books with dogs on the cover. That being said, it turned out to be one of the best books that I've read in a really long time, and I wanted to say thank you. Even though I don't normally give you credit for recommending it, I feel like I should give credit where credit is due. So in light of that, I would like you in your next video to give me a list of 5 books that you have either recommended to me in the past and that I have just decided not to read yet, or that maybe you just recently finished reading and you'd like to recommend. And I will find them in some form, whether I have to buy them or you can send them to me if you trust the mail and me enough with your books. Or I will get them at the library, and I promise to read them in a timely manner because I realize that I really care about being able to share books with you, and I'm so grateful that you have read them even when maybe you didn't think they were going to be great, or they were not your usual read. I know a lot of the books that I suggest to you are not your usual read, so I would just like to return their favor and read some of the books that you really enjoyed. And I'm sure I will enjoy them too, because you have fantastic taste in books, and I feel like I don't acknowledge that enough.